Hello, everybody. Wolfgang here. Today's Wednesday, July the 2nd. Got my day right. I got my date right. Aha. How we all doing today? Good, I hope. Or I should say the day this evening, because it is 5:14 right now. That was a good day. Not too bad. Work and lunch and do the video at lunch. It's same old crap. Really doesn't change. I did see a video, a fireworks warehouse exploded in California this morning, I think, as a matter of fact. I mean, it blew up. After the explosion is when you started seeing the fireworks go off. I just read an article on it, and there's 8 people missing. It's a pending investigation, so they're not going to say anything. So anyway, today's spam report is a follow-up on the scientists that are messing around with the DNA of the dire wolf, prehistoric time. So let me share the story. Oop, wrong button. Wrong button. That one first. I'm glad you guys put up with my stupid shit. It says Colossals, dire wolves are now 6 months old and they've doubled in size. That's a beautiful animal. It's been 6 months since 2 not quite dire wolves were born on Earth around 10,000, 12,000 years after the extinction of the species. Now, the 2 shaggy 6-month-olds, Romulus and Remus, along with their younger sister, Kelsey, I guess, are growing rapidly under the care of Colossal's bioscience. In a new video, the team explains how the 2 older wolves are progressing. So today, Romulus and Remus, at a little more than 6 months old, weigh a little more than 90 pounds, which is about 20% larger than a standard gray wolf, says Matt James, Colossal's chief animal officer. So we can really tell that the dire wolf's genes are kicking in, and we're getting these nice large wolves that are much more representative of what we saw in the ancient specimens. James also gave an update on Colossal, describing her as a little smaller, little younger. She weighs about 35 pounds, but she's still tracking about 10 to 15% larger than what we've seen in gray wolves. The plan is to eventually introduce Colossal into the pack with the 2 older boys. Showcasing the pups to the world was not without controversy when they were announced in April. Chief among the criticisms was that these wolves are not actually dire wolves, but rather a functionally similar creature born of both gray wolf and the extinct dire wolf DNA, which is true. So truly de-extinct something, we could have to clone it, said the associated professor Nick Rollins of the Otago Paleogenics Lab at the University of Otago, speaking to the New Zealand Science Media Center. The problem is we can't clone extinct animals because the DNA is not well enough preserved. Instead, Romulus and Remus and Colossal are genetically modified gray wolves with 20 changes made to 14 different genes, giving them a much closer physical appearance to the ancient ancestors they seek to emoliate, I guess. So, anyway, so why make dire wolves that aren't actually dire wolves? Unless someone develops a time machine, it seems unlikely that we'll ever be able to truly de-extinct an animal. But ambitious conservation projects are being carried out across the world utilizing some of the impressive breakthroughs in genetic research that have been made by the Colossal team. Take red wolves. They're one of the world's most endangered species, with just 15 to 20 thought to be left in the wild. Using the same technologies developed to give rise to the dire wolfish pups, Colossal used non-invasive cloning to get 4 red wolf pups named Hope, Blaze, Cinder, and Ash. Cinder and Ash. These clones are created by using coyote with a significant proportion of red wolf derived from DNA and their genomes. Across the world in Kenya, just 2 northern white rhino females remain. Thanks to monumental conservation efforts. Okay, I don't know. The team hopes to one day use a surrogate female southern white rhino as a means to bring back its species from functional extinction. This process also involves some incredible difficult genetic research to create embryos from sperm and eggs preserved by the team before the extinction of the last male rhino. Such ambitious plans are never without their critics, with ethical concerns as well as debates over the language used to describe these animals bound to be at the forefront. Are the wolves that Colossal made truly dire wolves? No, but they are the closest we've been for 10,000 years, and that might just help to save other species on the brink of extinction in the process. So there you go. And I know when I first did this video about the dire wolves, I asked, do you think it's wrong or is it right to do this? And we're not going back. Fine, be that way. There we go. I don't know, like they were saying, there's 2 white rhinos, and it's the last 2. If they can save that species, why not? But they're all right with the dire wolves, but it's the closest they're going to get. So it's is it right? Is it wrong? You're going to have the debate on either side. So, but for the good of science and to, save an extinct species, sure. I just hope it doesn't turn into to Jurassic Park. That would be something else. Wake up one morning, look out your window, and you hear something up in the sky, and it's a freaking pterodactyl flying around. Anyway, this is Wolf Fang. Have a great Wednesday. Blessed be. Stay safe, and I'll bullshit with y'all later. Bye.